Isaac over here. Isaac Paul Liss. Paul, grandfather's name. Grandfather was a great man. He took Captain Morgan stamps and I tell the story. So, anywho, my brother Isaac, how old were you at this story? I'm gonna guess like 15, I was 17, 14, I was 16, 13, I was, I don't know. So anyways, so Isaac had this TV in his room. It was an old TV. It was a 13-inch black and white TV, I think. Maybe it was color. It had rabbit ears. You had to fight those things to get anything, any channel at all. But you know what? Turner Broadcast Network, the Christian network, that thing always came in clear. Didn't matter where you were. You could be out in the middle of the woods with no reception, but by God, that came in clear. So anyways, so my brother. So it's one night, and I used to do this with my brother, like every night I'd come in his room random times, like I'd break in the door, and he had this little mounted basketball hoop that we got from Wells Fargo, and this little ball, and we used to watch a show called Michael Jordan's Playground, and I'd come back every night. Yeah. If anybody's seen it, I'd come in every night, and I'd be like, I wasn't the biggest or the tallest or the strongest, and I'd just fucking dunk in this hoop, just like some clip from the movie, right? So one night it was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I was like, I'm gonna break in, and I'm gonna find that Wells Fargo ball. I'm gonna fucking jam in that hoop and I'm gonna wake him up. It's gonna be hilarious. So I'm outside his door, I'm listening. I see a little light under the crack of the door. I wait. Time it. I got rhythm, you know. I'm like waiting. It's swagger. I was a rapper, John knows. So I'm like, kind of outside. I'm like, here we go. This is it. 8 Mile. You get one shot. So I open the door and I'm like, what is this? What is this? Foot of the bed. Here's my brother sitting on the foot of his bed. I shit you not, foot of his bed, 13-inch TV right here. He was close. It was a small TV. You had to be close, because even if you were this close, you didn't know what the fuck you were looking at. So he was so close to this TV, and this is exactly what I saw. He was just like, just jerking it as hard as possible. His gums were so pumped with blood. He probably took a ton of selfies after that, posted them on Facebook. Everybody knows, half-eaten meals, whatever. So anyway, I come in there, and I was just like, holy shit! And there he is, and I didn't even exactly know what to say, and I don't remember to this day what I saw, but I remember I was like, oh, kind of one of those half-stepping out, I'm like, do what you gotta do, close the door, go back into my room, which is right over here, close the door, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Oh yeah, I guess apparently he just straight confessed. Kind of hard to lie when visibly your dick is in your hand. So then, I think it was a day later or something at school, and we were in the locker room. And this is when it got worse. It's bad enough to get caught by your older brother when you're jerking the gherkin, but it actually, believe it or not, gets worse than that. So Evergreen High School, 2001, 2000. Right, so we're in there. This is how many years later? This has got to be a few years later. 1 or 2 years later? Yeah. Okay, so slightly after, regardless, whatever. So, I'm like, God damn, I need to bump my street cred a little bit. I'm looking like a bitch in here. So anyways, so my brother and I actually had the same gym class. He was 2 years younger. Sophomore, I was a senior, so I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking senior. I'm a big guy. So, open the locker room door, I come rolling in. Here's all the freshmen. Out of the way, freshmen. Sophomore, get away. One sophomore's a little tough. I'm like, it's cool, bro. It's cool. Bump around here. So anyways, wasn't the toughest senior, maybe. So anyways, so I get in there. And there's my brother at the back, and I see him, and I'm like, you're done. Because I know what happened 2 years ago when I caught you. So I walk in, and just for no reason at all, I'm like, hey, everybody, got a funny story to tell. Everybody's like, well, shit, we're late for class. I'm like, hold up, Captain Morgan stance. I'm like, this is a good one.
Right in front of the door.
Circle up. So I'm like, yeah, so anyways, blah, blah, blah. I caught my brother for jerking off, and I don't know if you ever forgave me for it, but later, I'm not saying you did it, my brother referred to a pair of shoes that I had. They were brand Osiris. I don't know if anybody knows the skater brand. Pretty cool brand. It was pretty cool back then. So anyways, shoes got taken, and I found one in the parking lot, and then I never found the other one. So anyways, needless to say, I think that was payback for calling him out in front of everybody. I'm not saying you stole them, but I'm saying you stole them. So that's fine. That's okay. Anyway, so I got lots of stories on Isaac, but I'll leave it at, oh, I wrote one down here. Fuck, I wish I knew my writing. Oh, shit.
Do we need to get the goggles out so you can see?
God, it says something about peed your pants?
Oh, no.
When the fuck did you pee your pants? No, you peed your pants too. You pooped them probably. No, you poo can play Legos, I remember that. Well, okay, anyway, so let's just bump down the list. This is kind of hard for me. Unfortunately, I got put into a tough position here. I appreciate it, Becca. Thank you very much. This is an awesome time. Round of applause for Becca. On this planet who is more on the ball than Becca, she emailed people 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit. 8 months of planning for you guys and 30 minutes for me. It seems wildly unfair, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and string together a couple pieces of shit and make this work. So, John Cromer. I mean, of all the people in this room, with the exception of Kevin Lovers, the lumberjack, Craig Eversole, the librarian / greenhouse, whatever, horticulturalist, and my brother, I don't know anybody in this room, well, my cousins, longer than these guys, but John Cromer. Yeah. Me and Mr. John Cromer, if you can't tell you, this guy looks a little like Conan O'Brien, slightly different now. He's got a girlfriend on his arm there. It's very nice. Glad to see that. Deep V-neck. Maybe it's a shallow V-neck. I'm not sure. V-neck's a good change. So anyways, he's outranking me in the belt class in jiu-jitsu because Jeremiah back there upgrades him once a week. John's scheduled to get his black belt next month. So anyways, John and I went to school in Los Angeles, California, at the Los Angeles Recording School, which was later purchased by Full Sail, blah, blah, blah. It's a nice school. Anyways, we were in LA, okay? I don't know if you know this, but LA next to New York City is like the murder capital of the world. Yes. Like, people die every second in LA from gunshots.
Everywhere.
Okay, it happens a lot. And me and John, we used to get pretty high. And here's the thing about that. When you get high, you get paranoid. And when you get paranoid, shit gets crazy. So here's what happened. So John and I would sit up late at night. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, Joel Myers. He moved into our room too. Joel back here. Joel was in the same apartment with us. There was 4 of us.
In a 2-bedroom.
It was 2 bedrooms.
We shared a room.
There's a lot
Literally,
of stories.
room.
I'll do a quick one real quick. Me and John, Joel lived in the room with my buddy Adam Ray. This is Adam. Where are you at? Adam Rue. Adam Ray. Changeable letter. But anyways, those two lived on the other side of the apartment. John and I thought it was hilarious. Our AC the filter hadn't been changed in
we did that when James
years.
was there.
Who?
When James was still there.
That was in the beginning.
Are you talking about the closing the vents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no, it's all right. So, I don't know who was in the other room, but Joel eventually moved into the other side. John and I thought it was hilarious to close all the vents on the other side of the house because our AC was so shitty.
Yes.
There was like minimal air coming through.
Like a hamster in a wheel running that thing.
Yeah, so we cut off all the fucking air to the other side of the house, and it's like 100 degrees every day. So anyways, that's a little side story.
They cranked our vents open, though.
Yeah, we kept ours open so it would be cool, and they would sweat their balls off. So anyways, so John and I would get really high all the time. Knife hits, bong rips, gravity bongs, I don't know, cyclone, mega vector, whatever the fuck they were called back then. So me and John would get really stoned, and one night we were watching this boxing match, and I think we were flipping back and forth channels. I don't know what it was.
Yes.
But for some reason in Los Angeles, they have this channel where all they show is murderers. It's like they're getting a constant stream of like murderers that are on the loose.
PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, like on your street, they're like, hey, Lancashire Boulevard. So Hector Elizondo fucking killed 7 people with a machete. He's 3 houses down.
$50,000 reward, wanted dead or alive.
John and I were like, oh shit, who the fuck is that? Then it's like Carlos Rodriguez. They're like, fucking killed 100 people with this, blah, blah, blah. He's next door. And we're like, oh shit. And so me and John would watch this thing and just get totally freaked out. I don't know why the hell we watched it.
Every night.
But anyways, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to pull like major dirt on John, though. This seems like the time to do so. Anyways, I figured like the pothead thing was probably enough at the time. I gotta bump down this list though. Anywho, over here to my left is Mark Vicio. This is pretty much the journeyman that I have worked for every day.
He calls you journeyman.
This is the foreman, I'm sorry. This is the foreman that I've worked for pretty much every day since I've gotten a trade. So, attribute all my skills or lack thereof to Mark. So, anyways, I got a funny story about Mark. Zach, I'm sure, knows this, but there's this guy over at Boeing, and I don't know what it is, it's so strange. He carries this box of lollipops around. This guy carries lollipops with him everywhere he goes. It's like his thing. He shows up to like construction sites around Boeing where we work, and he's like, oh, here's lollipops. He's like fucking Willy Wonka. We don't know why. I don't know why he does it. Why he hands these things out, but he does. And so Mark took one. I saw Mark take one. I'm like, oh, my journeyman took one. I guess I can take one, you know. So I'm doing what he does, doing what Dad's doing. So he pops one in, I pop one in. We're walking around, and I'm going to be politically incorrect for a moment, but we use a tool that we refer to as a dike, but the school is going to refer to as an angle cutter. And I go, hey. So I take a normal blow pop, I bite it between my teeth, and I cut the stick off it, right? I'm like, yeah, this is a good idea, because then I can have it in my mouth. And I don't look like a tool walking around with a stick sticking out of my mouth. And Mark sees me. And Mark's like, hey, that looks like a pretty good idea. And I'm like, oh shit, he's going to do what I'm doing now. That's a good idea. So Mark takes his dikes and he's like, hey, give me those. I think I gave him a pair. And this is Mark's classic move. He's like, give me that. That's what he does right there. That's Mark's hand move. So he snags these dikes from me. And he bites them between his teeth and he cuts. And I'm like, oh, cool. All right, we're going to go off. And the first thing he does, he goes, and he covers his face. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened? He goes, I think I cut my lip. I'm like, what do you mean cut your lip? He moves his hand and he's got literally blood running down his face because he cut his own lips on these dikes. So we rush into the bathroom, and I think Mark and I had probably laughed for like 45 minutes about this. He's like, now you're never gonna respect me.
And he does it.
No, I do sometimes. He does a pretty good job. No, but anyways, that was my story about Mark. I'm sure there's plenty more. I've worked with this guy for like 3 years. It's been an awesome time, so I really appreciate it. To take me under his wing, look at Zach over here. Zach's another journeyman over at our job site.
Another journeyman.
It's funny thing about Zach. No, and he doesn't have to. So here's the thing. It's funny. No. So here's the thing about Zach. I mean, he's got the comb over. He looks like a southern gentleman, doesn't he? Well, this isn't the South, bro. No, I know. Normally he wears a hat, right? He wears a hat all the time. It's like a staple. So when he doesn't wear a hat, I'm like, who is this? When he combs his hair over, I'm like, who is this? I don't know who this guy is. So anyways, Zach is literally the cheapest person I know.
Wow.
This is true. Literally, this guy still hasn't paid me for fantasy football. Not even a dime.
And
He's the coach. No, and he's the co-commissioner of the league. He still hasn't paid for fantasy football. Anyways, I'm breezing right through that one. So, I didn't have much written for you. You're lucky, because there's a lot of dirt, mostly porn stuff. So, lots of porn stuff. He has a lot of my accounts. Speaking of porn,
Brazzers.
Adam Rue.
Whoa.
Where's Adam Rue at? Can you raise your hand?
Oh yeah.
Adam Rue, literally, if you're looking, Kazoo, why don't you raise your hand too? I don't know two people on this planet that have a worse porn addiction or affinity to sexual something than I do. All the accounts that I have, I've inherited from them. All the websites that I have, I've inherited from them. I know Jeremiah's shaking his head back there, but you told me one time it's okay to look at a beautiful woman, I think, as long as you don't touch. Is that what you said? No, I think you said that. So anyways. Is that? Yeah, Kazoo, dude, nobody knows. So if anybody's looking for some clean ladies, talk to Kazoo.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good guy. So then I'm going to get bumped down the line. I got so many people to write about it, I didn't even get time to just Brigham Lamley.
Oh, no.
There's Rick. And his wife, Erin. Hey, can we give a congratulations to Erin? She just passed the bar. She was officially a lawyer. Or a lawyer, right? I don't know. Is it the same thing? Just a lawyer. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant. I'm just an electrician. Not even an electrician. Met these guys at a wedding. It's pretty cool. She asked us if we eat meat. It was like the first question I think she asked us. We do, believe it or not. We're not.
It was?
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
We do eat meat. I like to have it up there. Really? All right. We eat meat. We enjoy it. I mean, not in an odd way. Hey, I know I'm not supposed to cardioid microphone, right, John?
Yeah. Yes.
Dynamic mic, not supposed to hold it. Anyways,
You're holding it like
cool.
a Wu-Tang member with your hand cupping it.
Over the top.
There you go. Yeah, hold it like a
You're
penis.
taking me out of my rhythm. So like stand-up comedians do it. Anyways, these are two of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. Very good friends. Brigno's literally does no studying for fantasy football. Almost none. Almost none. Literally the two best teams back-to-back that anybody in the universe has ever fucking seen in my life. Seriously, people keep paying me money for the league, and the running joke is we should just give it to him because his team is so good. All right. Kevin,
Yeah.
my dad wants you to cut your lawn. Lives next door to my dad. Apparently the lawn is like a fucking jungle. I have to listen to my dad complain about it like weekly. He said that your dad like let the seeds from a tree fall, and now he's got the same trees. And you know, your girlfriend knows what I'm talking about. What is going on back there? Can somebody cut that, please? My dad's trying to sell his house. There's a fucking jungle next door. Resale value is impossible. Anyways, cut your lawn. God's sake. Plenty of landscapers in this area. Alright, let me look at this thing here. Tim Bernal. It's Tim Bernal here. Raise your hand, Tim. Good to see Tim Bernal here. Can we get a round of applause for Tim Bernal? This is Tim Bernal. I had some crazy times with Tim Bernal. Okay, his mom, I used to speak Spanish at his house, Tim. He's got a Spanish background, Panamanian. He's the only Panamanian person that I personally know, which is unbelievable. It's not really unbelievable. I doubt anybody else knows one. So,
What can I say?
Tim got me a job at Winco.
Oh, man.
And a guy named Daryl used to be here. He was here earlier. He had the red hat. He also hasn't paid me for the league like Zach. And, anyways, Tim got me a job at Winco. It's still to this day the shittiest job I've ever had.
Mine too. First
Yours
one.
too. We did cards at Winco. I was like 18 pushing cards, running into people I knew that were in school to be fucking doctors. That's like, and then John later got a job with me also.
Freight crew, right
And
before LA.
we were an upgrade. We actually did night crew. We threw night freight and stacked fucking peanut butter on the shelf.
So vile.
Yeah, 30-cent bump on our pay.
50 cent because it was after midnight.
It was a bump. Needless to say, I'm running out of material here because again I didn't get a lot of time to talk. I'm glad Joel showed up back here. Joel, Phil Spector, glad he showed up tonight.
Yeah.
Good to see him. Everybody loves Joel. I actually have a picture still online with him and Phil Spector. It's a classic photo. Kazoo, my favorite Indian in the cupboard.
You're welcome on my carpet.
Nick Audrey,
anytime.
vitamin C, and then we've got Lindsay, my cousin, in the back, and I have no idea what she's doing. Anyways, I appreciate everybody coming out. I don't know. I guess I have some stuff on my wife. I think people heard this story once before, but I'll tell a mass crowd. People heard this probably at our wedding. What do you even call it? Like rehearsal dinner? God, I gotta be so bad. Jeans are so tight, so I'm gonna jog for this one. So anyway, I don't want to piss my pants. Then somebody will come up and be like, remember the time you pissed his pants 2 minutes ago? So anyways, my wife, we went to Lindsay's graduation over at Linfield. Give a round of applause for Lindsay for graduating from Linfield. Oh, no, it was like 3 years ago. So anyway, my wife and I are sitting in the crowd, and there's a bunch of people walking by. Okay, this is the higher GPA, and anywho, and we're sitting in the crowd, and so and so's walking by, and so and so's walking by, and then some like Asian gal walks by, and they're like Kim Lee, and they're like magna cum blah blah blah, and she walks by, and then Becca's still sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and then a black guy walks by, and they're like Tommy so-and-so, magna sum, blah, 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 and he walks by. And Becca and I are still sitting there, and then the next guy that walks by is like a blind guy from like Ireland or something, and they're like, whatever his name would be, so-and-so, magna something, something. And she's like, Magna? It's like, it was cum laude was the last part of it. She's like, are all these people related? Like literally a black guy, an Asian guy, a white woman, an Irish guy, fucking walked by. And she's like, are these people related? And I looked at her and I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. Like that shit, like didn't even consider it. Still 40 black guys, 3 white women. I'm like, no, they're not related. In her defense, she's never been to a college graduation. Which is fine.
By
neither have I.
marriage.
So, wow. Wee wah. How you doing? I'm good out there. Running out of information right now. Oh yeah, I got Chris. You're cool. So anyways.
I like how Chris just gets a you're cool, but mine.
Why would Chris get anything? Chris is a good guy, you know. Chris has had me come over and do free work. No more pro bono for work than for Chris and anybody I know. It's good. I like Chris.
There are 4-letter words in that job that I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was a good time over there for free.
Really worth my
Anyway,
money.
I appreciate everybody coming out. I mean, I'm gonna have more jokes on people. I honestly didn't get enough time to write stuff, but I truly appreciate everybody coming out tonight and those who left early that didn't hear me. Roscoe would have honestly loved to crack at a couple people. Thank you for coming out tonight. Apparently, the Dirty 30 only happens once, and I am glad I was able to share it with everybody in this room. So thank you very much.
Nate's roast.